Our planet is broken. Well, at least it looks that way in a few specific corners of the globe. We like to think we have explored everything, but there are places on Earth so incredibly bizarre they look like a glitch in the simulation or a landscape rendered for a science fiction movie. From a river that literally boils its prey alive to an underwater waterfall that defies the laws of physics. We are counting down the top 10 strangest places you won't believe actually exist. And trust me, number one will completely change how you view our planet. So let's dive in. Starting us off at number 10, we are heading to the tropical paradise of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. If you fly high above its coast, you will witness something terrifying. A massive gaping underwater vortex that looks like the ocean is draining into a bottomless abyss. But don't panic. It's actually a mind-bending optical illusion. The island sits on a relatively young oceanic plateau. What you are actually seeing isn't water falling, but massive currents pulling sand and silt off the coastal shelf down into the deeper abyssal depths below. It's a visual masterpiece created entirely by nature. At number 9, we have the Boiling River. Deep in the heart of the Peruvian Amazon lies a mythical river that local shamans call Shania Tempishka, which translates to boiled with the heat of the sun. For centuries, scientists thought it was a legend. They were wrong. This river stretches for nearly 4 miles and reaches temperatures of up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot enough to brew tea, or worse, cook any unlucky animal that falls into it alive. What makes it truly strange, the nearest active volcano is 400 miles away. Scientists believe deep tectonic fractures allow geothermal water from the Earth's crust to shoot up into the riverbed like a massive plumbing glitch. At number 8, we have Dalol Hydrothermal Field. If you want to visit another planet without leaving Earth, go to Delol, Ethiopia. Located in the Danakil Depression, this is officially one of the hottest, lowest, and most inhospitable places on the globe. The landscape is a chaotic neon wonderland of superheated acid ponds, toxic sulfur springs, and massive iron salt chimneys. It smells heavily of rotten eggs. The air is toxic and it is so acidic that regular life cannot survive here. In fact, recent studies show that some of these pools are entirely devoid of even basic microbial life. It is literally dead earth. Next up, we are trading toxic acid for something a bit sweeter to look at. From above, Middle Island in Western Australia looks like it has a giant puddle of Pepto-Bismol sitting on it. This is Lake Hillier, a completely natural, permanently pink lake. And no, it is not an illusion. If you scoop the water into a glass, it stays pink. For years, people didn't know why it looked like this. Today, we know the color comes from a unique cocktail of Dunaliella salina algae, pink halobacteria, and a high concentration of salt. It's perfectly safe to swim in, though the extreme salt content means you will float like a cork. At number 6, we have the Blood Falls. Imagine trekking through the freezing pristine white deserts of Antarctica only to stumble upon a glacier that looks like it's bleeding out. Discovered in 1911, Blood Falls looked like a crime scene on ice. When explorers first saw it, they assumed red algae was causing the stain. But the real explanation is much cooler. Deep beneath the Taylor Glacier sits a subglacial lake trapped 5 million years ago. It has zero oxygen, zero light, and is packed with iron and salt. When a small crack allows this briny water to seep out, the iron instantly reacts with the outside oxygen rusting on contact and turning the waterfall a graphic bloody red. At number 5, we have the Spotted Lake. Located in the Okanagan Valley of British Columbia, Canada, sits Klillik, famously known as the Spotted Lake. For most of the year, it looks like a regular lake, but when the summer heat hits, the water evaporates, revealing something straight out of a fantasy novel. As the water vanishes, it leaves behind dense, patterned, colorful pools of minerals. Depending on which minerals are left behind, like magnesium sulfate, calcium, or silver, the spots turn vibrant shades of yellow, green, and blue. To the local Okanagan First Nations people, this is sacred site known for its intense healing properties. And number 4, we have the door to hell. In the middle of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert lies a 230-foot wide pit that has been burning continuously for over 50 years. Locals call it the door to hell. This wasn't made by a volcano or a meteor, it was made by humans. In 1971, Soviet engineers were drilling for oil when the ground collapsed into a massive natural gas cavern. Fearing the release of toxic gases into nearby villages, they did what any rational scientist would do. They set it on fire, expecting it to burn out in a few weeks. That was decades ago and it's still roaring today. And number 3, we have Socotra Island. Sitting in the Arabian Sea, Socotra Island is so isolated that a third of its plant life can be found nowhere else on planet Earth. It's been described as the most alien-looking place on the globe. Its defining features is the legendary dragon's blood tree. These trees look like a giant flying saucers or inside-out umbrellas. They evolved this way to trap moisture from high altitude mists. And if you cut into the bark, it bleeds a thick, dark red resin that looks like a actual blood, which was used for centuries in medicines, magic, and dyes. At number 2, we have Jangye Dangsha landform. If you look at photos of Jangye National Geopark in China, your first instinct is to assume it's completely photoshopped. These are the Rainbow Mountains, and yes, those colors are 100% real. This striking canvas was created over 24 million years of geological history. Sandstone and siltstone minerals were deposited layer by layer, trapping different elements. Eventually, tectonic shifts buckled the earth, pushing these hidden colored layers into massive rolling mountain peaks. Wind and rain then eroded the topsoil, exposing the vibrant layered stripes we see today. And finally, taking our number 1 spot is the breathtaking Reed Flute Cave in Guilin, China. Known as the Palace of Natural Arts, this limestone cavern is over 180 million years old. What makes this place feel so unreal is the sheer scale of the stone pillars, rock curtains, and stalactite formations, all illuminated by vibrant theatrical neon lighting. It feels like stepping right into an underground neon cyberpunk fantasy. Even wilder, there are over 70 ink inscriptions written on the walls inside that date back as far as the Tang Dynasty in the year 792 AD, proving humans have been entering this magical underworld to escape reality for over a millennium. Our world is full of anomalies that challenge what we think is possible. Which of these strange places would you actually dare to visit? Let me know in the comments below. If you loved exploring these glitches in nature, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss another adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.